I have been a fan of Rob Zombie's music since his White Zombie days back in the late 80s. I even like the music videos he directed, starting with his More Human Than Human song. In 1999, Zombie designed a haunted maze at Universal Studios, which helped to revive the studio's annual Halloween Horror Nights attraction. The maze was called House of a Thousand Corpses. The idea for his first movie came to him while designing that attraction. Zombie said that he was asked by someone at Universal if he had any movie ideas, so he pitched them a House of a Thousand Corpses movie. They liked it, so he went home and wrote a 12-page treatment. And just 2 months later, they were shooting the movie. You hear about that thing called production hell with movies that get stuck in pre-production and never really getting off the ground. So 2 months to start shooting is really unbelievable. His haunted house attraction title was changed to American Nightmare due to what happened with the movie. The movie's budget was between $7 and $14 million and was shot on a 25-day shooting schedule. Once finished, Universal took a look at the movie and decided to shelve it prior to its release due to the amount of gore, violence, and fear of an NC-17 rating. Zombie managed to buy the rights back to the film a year or two later, eventually selling it to Lionsgate, and it was released in 2003. It wasn't a large release, so I bought it when it came out on DVD. Overall, the movie didn't have a lot of good reviews, but I really liked it. I thought it was a kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre homage, but Zombie claims it wasn't, although I still think it is. Corpses starts off with a violent scene where two guys try robbing a gas station and get killed by Captain Spaulding. Chainsaw starts off with a grave robber who stole corpses from a cemetery, tying a rotting corpse and other body parts onto a monument, creating a pretty grisly display. In Corpses, 5 people are on the road in hopes of writing a book on offbeat roadside attractions. In Chainsaw, the teens are heading to check on their grandfather's grave after hearing reports of vandalism. With Corpses, while getting gas, they meet Spaulding, who is also the owner of the Museum of Monsters and Madmen attraction, and they learn of the local legend of Dr. Satan. As they take off in search of the tree from which Dr. Satan was hanged, they pick up a demented hitchhiker who claims to live only a few miles away from the tree. Chainsaw also picks up a demented hitchhiker. Someone shoots out their car's tire. The group thinks it's just a blowout. Stranded, the hitchhiker takes them to her family's house to get a tow truck. In Chainsaw, they go to a gas station. The owner tells them that he's out of gas and waiting on the fuel truck, so they explore an abandoned nearby house. In Corpses, they make it to the hitchhiker's home and meet the insane family, whose plan is to kill them off and sacrifice them to Dr. Satan. And in Chainsaw, they run across a demented family who wants to kill them and make sausages out of them. The family in Corpses has a special celebration every Halloween, so they have dinner and put on a show for their guests. Chainsaw also has a family dinner, and it gets a bit disturbing. With the Corpses, Sherry Moon does a great job pretending to sing and dance to the song I Want to Be Loved by You. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie. One of the teen girls gets mad and everyone gets uncomfortable, but their car is ready, so they start to leave but get grabbed up by the family. Like Chainsaw, the background in every scene looks great. Chainsaw is more disturbing, but the scenes in Corpses are incredibly detailed, and the ending scenes are insane, like you're inside an actual haunted house attraction. The teens are tormented and a few are killed off. The movie's special effects team did a great job with Fishboy. Then the remaining people are brought to a pit to be lowered to Dr. Satan, and the ending goes a bit off the rails. Like I said, the imagery is fantastic to watch, but the movie went from horror to horror fantasy. The one remaining girl who went through hell, just like in Chainsaw, manages to escape and is rescued by a passing car. But in Corpses, one of the family is in the back seat. So I think this movie was an updated Texas Chainsaw. Part 2 to House of a Thousand Corpses wasn't bad, but some of the toilet humor, pointless scenes, and bad dialogue, which seems to be in all of his movies, started to appear in this one. And after that whole crazy family dies in part 2, he brings a few of them back for a part 3, and the story just gets worse. Then there's the Halloween remakes. Zombie has a big fan base for his Halloween movies. I think he films a good movie, but the characters are so obnoxious and likable, it's hard to get into them. Not to mention giving Michael Myers a backstory, just not getting who that character was. I did like his Lords of Salem from 2012. A radio DJ in Salem has nightmares of vengeful witches after she plays a record by a mysterious group known only as the Lords. There was still some of those character and dialogue issues, but it had an interesting ending. In 31, some carnival workers are kidnapped the night before Halloween and held hostage in a large compound, then forced to play a game of life and death called 31. I just didn't see the purpose of this movie. And no movies really have a purpose, but this one even less so. And I never bothered with the Munsters. The previews just looked too painful to have to sit through. I don't know what Zombie's next movie is. There are always a few rumors. Some horror movies have long YouTube videos and blogs dedicated to what the movie was actually about or what it was really trying to say. I can't imagine anyone doing that with any Rob Zombie movie. I've come to realize that for whatever reason, maybe the studio at that time got involved helping with the story and dialogue. Or maybe because Zombie had so little time to film it, he couldn't overthink anything. But House of a Thousand Corpses really is not just his first, but his best movie. Good night.